Hey, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can automate user-generated content videos for your brand, from competitor research to script writing with AI to generating these videos with AI. All right, let me show you a demo of one of these UGC videos that I created in ArcAds with Gumloop, and then I'll show you how I built it out step by step. So this ad is for a fictional newsletter company called Beehive. So let me just play this video for you.
Between my kids, my job, and my side hustle, I had exactly 30 minutes to write this week's newsletter. Then Beehive's AI tool changed everything. Creating consistent quality content shouldn't require superhuman time management. Beehive understands that life happens and your newsletter shouldn't suffer because of it. With our AI-powered content assistant, you can transform a simple outline into a fully formatted newsletter in minutes, not hours.
All right, so I'm not going to play the whole thing, but pretty good, right? I think the quality on ArcAds is pretty good. And what we're doing here is we're not just giving it a random script. So what this workflow is actually going to do, as I said, it is a competitor research agent. It is a script writer agent. And then it's going to take that script and feed it into ArcAds. So first, I'll give you an overview of what we're doing inside of Gumloop, and then I'll show you how I built it out step by step. But if you want this full automation, make sure you join us inside of my school community, AI Automation Made Easy. So this is for folks who want to build AI automations to grow their own business, and it's for folks who want to sell these automations as a consultant or even an agency. So you can find a link to this community underneath the video. All right, let me give an overview of what we're doing in Gumloop, and then I'll explain it in more detail step by step. And I'm building left to right in Gumloop today. I just decided to be a little crazy. All right, so we're starting with an input of a competitor product. So again, I have a fictional newsletter software company called Beehive. And so one of my big competitors is going to be Beehive, right? And so the idea here, if I can just zoom out for a second, is we're going to take a look at their Facebook ads, and then we're going to analyze those ads with AI. And Gumloop has a really, really great setup to do this, where we can scrape their ads and then analyze the video ads, I should say. These are video ads that we're going to analyze with AI. And so to start out, what we're going to do is we're going to scrape our competitor's website to find their Facebook page. Then we're going to scrape their ad library, and we're looking for video ads here. Then we're going to analyze those videos with AI using Gemini 2.5 Flash, which can ingest and analyze video content. Then we're going to have AI kind of review the strategy, right? The ad strategy behind those videos. Then we're going to have our own AI writer craft new ads for our product based on the ads of our competitors, in this case, Beehive. Then we're going to send those ads to a Google Sheet just so we have access to them. And then we're going to send those ad scripts to ArcAds, okay? So ArcAds is a UGC video generator, and Gumloop has a native integration. So we're going to send those ad scripts, in this example, 3 different scripts, to ArcAds. And what's going to happen is we're going to get these ads created automatically inside of ArcAds based on this automation. So let me just show you another one here.
I just made more from my newsletter last month than my entire YouTube channel, and I didn't have to dance or show my face once. Let's be real. Social platforms want your best content for free while they pocket the ad revenue. With Beehive, you finally get paid directly for your knowledge. Creating a newsletter.
All right, so again, I think the videos are pretty good with ArcAds. I think the voices are a little off, but overall, where we are, I think this is pretty good. So for this video, I'm not going to do the full step-by-step build out, but I will walk through and talk through every node. Again, if you want this template, make sure you join the school community. So this just starts with a competitor URL, right? The website of a competitor, right? So in this case, we're using Beehive, and I'm just using an input node here to kick off the automation so I can run this manually. Now, the next node that I'm going to use here is probably my favorite node in all of Gumloop. It's this AI web research. And what this node is going to do is we're going to provide the node with the website of our competitor, right? So in this case, it's Beehive. And then the purpose of this node is to extract the Facebook page URL of the competitor, right? And that'll make more sense in the next node. But what this is going to do is it's going to go out, it's going to crawl the website beehive.com, And hopefully what it's going to be able to do is come all the way down here at the bottom, and you see this Facebook link. So when I click that open, it's going to open Beehive's Facebook page URL. So that's what this node is doing. And that's all I have to do in terms of instruction. I'm saying extract the Facebook page URL, used for running meta ads from the given website. And this node is able to go out and pull in the Facebook page URL. And the reason we need that is for the very next node, right? So Gumloop, again, this is just a fantastic integration they have. It's the Meta Facebook ad library scraper, right? So scrape Facebook ad library data for a given profile. So we provide it with the URL, in this case, this Beehive URL. And what it's going to do is go out. You can tell it to which platforms. You can tell what media type. So in this instance, I just chose video. And for the platforms, I selected Facebook and Instagram. You can set the number of ads. And then what you want here for the ad information, we're going to need this in the next step. You want to select add media URL. So this is going to pull in the actual ads running on Facebook. Actually, let me show you an example. So let me show you a previous run. It said it failed, but that was because of the very last node. I forgot to make one setting. But actually, let me show you the AI web research so you can see what's actually happening in the background here. So again, this is what we provided it in the very first node, this input node, which is the URL of beehive.com. And what I wanted to get back was the Facebook page URL. And so you can see that that node was able to find the Facebook page URL. So then we're feeding that into the next step, which is that Facebook ad library scraper, right? So there's the input that we're using. And what we want here are these ad media URLs, okay? So if we actually open one of these up.
Until I started using this AI workflow that completely changed everything. Starting my newsletter was easy, but staying consistent, that's where everything fell apart.
All right, so these are actual Beehive ads that are running on Facebook right now. And Gumloop was very easily able to go out and extract those, okay? So that's what we're doing in this step with the Meta Facebook ad library scraper. All right, next is another really great node in Gumloop. I know I've said that several times, but it really is between the Facebook ad library scraper and now this node right here, which is analyze video with AI. So again, they have a built-in integration here with Gemini 2.5 Flash, which can analyze video content. So what we're doing is we're going to feed these URLs, right, the Beehive video ads into Gumloop here in this node to analyze the video. And I have a prompt here that's basically saying you're an expert ad strategist, and ChatGPT wrote this whole thing. I'm saying analyze the following Facebook ad, video ad, and provide a detailed breakdown of its strategy and effectiveness. And I'm just saying your analysis should cover, how they stop the scroll, the target viewer, the emotional hook, the problem. ChatGPT wrote this whole thing. And again, if you want this prompt, make sure to join the school community. So I'm prompting the analyze video node to come up with an output here, right? To analyze the video from the previous step. And if we go back into this run, what I can see, so with this node, again, we're feeding it the video URLs, and here's the analysis, right? So this is AI ingesting that video content, and it's going to output basically a summary of the ad strategy, right? What stopped the scroll? What's the target viewer profile? What's the emotional hook? What's the problem solution positioning? What's the CTA, right? This is like having an ad strategist in your back pocket that's just watching video ads all day long. All right, then we're just doing a little text manipulation where I'm doing a join list here. And then we're passing this on to a Facebook ad reviewer node. So this is another Ask AI node. And I'm asking it to basically review the brand batch of Facebook video ads and identify themes in targeting and messaging. All right, so I'm trying to pull out targeting, the audience, the messaging angles, the creative summary, what's working with their creative approach. Again, ChatGPT generated this entire prompt for me. So again, it's going to take the analysis from the video and then basically ask it to identify themes in targeting and messaging. So what that's going to look like is this Facebook ad reviewer node. Let's look at one of the outputs that it gave last time, right? So here's the creative strategy for this video ad campaign. So we've got the audience archetypes, and it's going to give us 5 archetypes here. The core messaging angles, right? So creator independence, efficiency through automation, simplicity, strategic frameworks. Again, this is all based on the Beehive Facebook ads that are running right now. Then we're talking about video formats, visual style patterns, pacing and tone, right? So it's a complete breakdown of what Beehive is doing with their Facebook ads. And we're going to use this information in this analysis later on to help generate our own ads or our own scripts that we can then pass into Arc ads. All right, then we're going to take the analysis from the previous step and we're going to pass it on to our next AI agent, which is this ad writer. Okay, so you can see we're passing the outputs from the previous steps further along to all of these different Ask AI nodes here. So this is our copywriter. Okay, this is the one who's going to take the information from our competitor strategy and our product and then put together different scripts for our video ads. And again, ChatGPT came up with all of these prompts. There's no reason for you to waste hours trying to come up with perfect prompts when AI is a much better prompt writer than you are. So I'm not taking credit for any of these prompts here, but you are a high-level direct response copywriter and creative strategist. Write 3 distinct video ad scripts tailored to different audience personas, each using a unique messaging angle for our brand, Beehive, a newsletter SaaS for creators. Use the attached research to shape your approach, and that's where I drag in the research from the previous node, and then ChatGPT came up with all of these different ideal spokespeople, right? And so it's asking for a call to action, it's asking for a hook, and it's asking for a body. So what this node is doing is it's actually writing the ads, right? This is your copywriter agent. And again, if we come back into a previous node here in the ad writer and then go into the output, we can get a look at what the response was for the last 3 scripts that it wrote, right? So it's generating script number 1, script number 2, and then script number 3, and everything has a hook, everything has a body, and everything has a CTA, right? So for this hook, it's saying between my kids, my job, and my side hustle, I had exactly 30 minutes to write this week's newsletter. Then Beehive's AI tool changed everything. So Beehive must currently be promoting some kind of AI functionality with their newsletter because a lot of what we're seeing in here has to do around AI. So here's another hook. Yo, I just made more from my newsletter last month than my entire YouTube channel, and I didn't have to dance or show my face once. So I know Beehive in their advertising likes to talk about their creator network, or you can get paid directly on the platform. So I think that's what this hook is about right here. Then we've got a body. The body part of the ad. Creating a newsletter used to be complicated, but Beehive makes it stupidly simple. And then we've got the call to action. Start your Beehive newsletter today. Stop creating content for free. Build something that pays you back. All right, so this is the output from our copywriter agent. And actually, let me come back to this node because it'll make sense for the next node. Now, you can see this is just outputting one giant response, right? It's one blob of text. It's got 3 ads. And each ad has 3 sections: the hook, the body, and the call to action. So what I want to do with that information is extract it into different parts. I want the hook, I want the body, and the call to action. So to do that, what I used was this extract data node, another AI node inside of Gumloop. So what I did is I passed the output from my copywriter node into this extract data node. And then what I'm doing here is I'm giving it context. And again, this was generated by ChatGPT. So what it's basically saying is, hey, we want the hook, we want the body, and we want the call to action. And this is just JSON that ChatGPT generated. And to be honest, when you're using this extract data node, you don't need this JSON at all. You can just write in plain English. And really where you need to make the settings are down here, right? So what I did here was I clicked on add data, and then I added 3 data points that we want to extract. So we want the hook, we want the body, and we want the CTA, right? So this is really the power here of this node. It's these 3 data settings here. This additional context, again, you do not need code in here at all. You can just write in plain English. I just had ChatGPT type this out. But we're taking the response, again, which is this big blob of text, and we're going to pass it to that node. And now you'll see what the extract data node is going to do is it's going to nicely pull these out one at a time. So now we've got the body, and we've got 3 outputs for the body, right? We've got the CTA, and now we've got 3, like these are distinct items in a list that now we can manipulate in Google Sheets and into Arc Ads eventually. So you can see how it's extracting every single bit of information that we're looking for. So that's the purpose and the benefit of this extract data node here. All right, and then next, what I'm doing is, and this is optional, obviously, you don't have to do this, but I'm writing these scripts to a Google Sheet just so we can kind of keep track of everything. So you can see we have our hooks, our body, and our CTAs here. So it's writing everything from our AI Copywriter into Google Sheet just so we have access to everything in one place. And then over here with this combined text node, what I'm doing is I'm passing in this extracted data, and I'm going to combine all of this into one kind of body of text. So actually, let me just go and show you. It's a lot easier to explain. So let me come up to combine text here. And then if we look at the inputs, what we're getting here, again, we're getting 3 hooks, we're getting 3 bodies, and then we're getting 3 CTAs. And these are all individual items. Now, when I combine these, what I'm going to get is each hook and its corresponding body and its corresponding CTA combined into one output, right? So this right here is one ad script. So you can see it's taking the first hook, which is last night I lost 5 subscribers. So it's taking that. And then it's taking the first body content, which is your content deserves better. Your content deserves better. And then it's taking the first CTA, start your Beehive newsletter for free, start your Beehive newsletter for free. So you can see it's taking those chunks and it's combining them. So now what this is outputting here are 3 standalone ad scripts that, again, I can now feed eventually into Arc Ads. All right, then I'm setting these each output here to a get list item. And then what I'm doing, right, so the combined text list, right, what I'm doing is I'm sending the output here, which is this combined text list. So it's going to output it as a list. So I need a get list item in between. And so I'm creating 3 get list items because I have 3 separate ad scripts, right? And the input for each of these nodes is the same. It's the output from combined text. But importantly, for the index, so for the first one, I'm setting the index to 0, which means it will be the very first item. Remember, there's 3 ads, so we need 3 outputs. The second guest list item, the index, I'm going to set to 1, which is actually the second ad, right? So that second ad will go into an Arc Ads generator. And then the third list item, I'm going to set the index to 2, which is going to take the third ad. And then that third script will go into its own Arc Ads generator. So again, I'm having my AI writer generate 3 different ad scripts. And so I need 3 different get list items, changing the index all the way down from 0 to 1 to 2. And then with these get list items, I'm going to eventually send these to their own Arc Ad video creators. But let me just help you visualize the get list item over here. So again, there's actually 3 of these get list items. So 1, 2, 3. So each one of these is going to output 1 script, right? So this one is taking the first one, right? So last night, blah, 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 blah. And now I have this as one single item instead of 3 separate items in a list, because I need this kind of separated as just one piece of text in order to feed into Arc Ads. All right, now comes the Arc Ads part of this. So Arc Ads, you can create Facebook ads or any kind of ads really with AI actors, and you feed it a script and you can choose from different actors and different scenes. I'll get into it a little bit, but this is what we're using. You do need a paid account, by the way, in order to get this to work. But this is what Arc Ads looks like. All right, so again, Gumloop has a native integration with Arc Ads, which is huge. So we don't need to use any code, any API requests in order to get our connection. So once you get signed up with Arc Ads, what you're going to want to do, and we can kind of reverse engineer this, you want to create a product and a folder, okay? So going back into my account, the product is actually at the very top, right? So it's up here. You can see I have one for Beehive and one for Gumloop. So add a product, and then you need to add a folder, right? So I added my folder as UGC ads. So the reason you need to do that is because in Gumloop, when you add the Arc Ads video node, you're going to need to select from the product field and the folder field. So you need to have those 2 created in order to select them in Gumloop. So what I'm doing is I'm connecting this get list item, which is basically just the script, connecting it to the Arc Ads node here. Now you want to give each video a distinct title. So in here, you can see I have Beehive 1, Beehive 2, and Beehive 3, very creative, and that matches up with the title field here. So the script, again, we're grabbing from this get list item, which comes up here as a variable. Product, I mentioned this, you need to grab this from the dropdown, which is going to match with this. So you have different products up here, and then the folder corresponds with the folders that you create down here. All right, next is where you can get a little creative. All right, so Arc Ad has many different actors, right? So if I'm in one of my ads here, and what you can do is you can click on this ad actor. You can preview the different actors. Let me just turn my volume up just by hovering over them.
Hey you, welcome to Arc Ads. I'm one of...
Hey you, welcome to Arc Ads.
Hey you, welcome to Arc Ads.
Hey you, welcome to our...
All right, so they have I don't know how many, but they have a bunch of actors, and you can also filter and favorite. So you can do male or female, the age, I guess they've got some exclusively for pro. And then what's cool is they have all these different situations, right? So if you want someone sitting in their car, you can filter on car. If you want someone with their family, all right, there's one that has a lady with her baby. But the point is you can filter on all these different situations, which is really cool. Now, the one thing that I will say that I had a little bit of trouble with Gumloop here is they have an actors dropdown, and I refreshed this a bunch of times, but it doesn't have every actor. I'm not sure. I'm sure there's a reason for that. But I was basically browsing through these. I think I was looking at pro, and I think I'm on a pro account, and I was looking for certain actors, right? It almost felt like every time I wanted to find this actor. So say, for example, Elizabeth. Now watch Elizabeth show up in here, right? So when I go down the list of names, you can see there's no Elizabeth in here. And that happened quite a bit. So I'm not sure if it's a syncing issue or maybe I'm not on the right account with Arc Ads. I'm sure there's a good reason for it. Just a heads up, the actor list that Gumloop have does not appear to be exhaustive. It doesn't appear to have it definitely does not have every single actor in here. Again, I'm not entirely sure why that's the case. So just a fair heads up there. But once you do select your actor, and you can select multiple actors, by the way, the next thing that you want to do is select the situation, right? So you can have a situation where the actor is sitting in a car. So
Hey you, welcome to Arc Ads. I'm one of the natural AI actors you can use for your ad.
Hey you, welcome to Arc Ads.
So you can see with Tiffany as an actor, she has many different situations, or really what it is a scene. So if I click on this drop down, right? So Tiffany, she has a scene where she's sitting at home excited. There's one where she's at home enthusiastic. Another one at home enthusiastic. There's a multi-frame office setting. And then there's another one here where it says sitting skit serious, which I'm not entirely sure what that means. But the point is each actor seems to have many different situations that they're in. Again, it could be they're sitting by the pool, they're doing kind of a podcast episode, right? So you can make these selections and choose these in this part of the Gumloop node. And then in Gumloop, the Arc Ads node takes several minutes, I would say, for it to run all the way through. And then Arc Ads on its back end takes several minutes for the video to finish. But you'll get your video ID in here. And then when you come into Arc Ads, what you're going to see is, remember how I had each one named here? Remember Beehive 1, Beehive 2, and Beehive 3. So those are 3 different scripts. So I don't think I showed this one. Let me pop this one open too.
Last night, I lost 5 subscribers after Instagram changed their algorithm again. That's when I realized my entire business was built on borrowed land. Your content deserves better than platform roulette. With Beehive, you're not just building a newsletter.
All right, so that's Tiffany sitting in her car here, but you'll see all of your ads show up under their folder, under your, I think they call it again, the product. Yeah, under your product here. So here's the second ad, here's the third ad, and here's another one that I created earlier with AG1 as a test.
You don't need 10 bottles to feel good every day. If you're like me, your bathroom shelf is basically a pharmacy and half of it's collecting dust. AG1 changed that for me. 1 scoop every morning replaces those complicated routines.
All right, again, that's for AG1, which I think is some kind of like daily supplement or something. So I think with the UGC ads, the quality is getting there. These platforms are improving every single day. And what's great about tools like Gumloop is once you set up a flow, you can really automate this. You can have this set to run 50 different scripts if you want. And again, the best part of this flow is we're not just using a random prompt to generate these scripts. We're doing research on our competitors. We're scraping their Facebook ads. We're analyzing those video ads with AI. And then we're using that analysis as a basis to inform our own ads and then filtering that into Arc ads to have all of these videos created at scale. So again, if you want access to this template and all my templates, be sure to check out my community in school, AI Automation Made Easy. And do me a favor, if you enjoyed this content, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below. It really helps me out. It really helps the channel out.